Hi, it's Tom here from Running Physio. I had an idea for a video when I was a little bit delicate, shall we say, after a staff party. And it occurred to me that running injury is an awful lot like having a hangover. And actually, I think there are 5 reasons why a running injury is quite a lot like having a hangover. And I thought it'd be quite good fun to talk through some of these comparisons today. I think it's quite a useful analogy to use with our patients because most of us can understand what a hangover is like. So I also thought it'd be quite appropriate during the festive period. A lot of people may be just a little bit delicate after nights out and things, Zoom Christmas parties and things that are happening at the moment. So number 1, probably the main way that a running injury is like a hangover is that it's usually caused by too much too quickly, and as soon as we feel better, we do it all again. I'm sure we've all been in that situation. You know, you have that hangover the day after, your head's heavy, you feel sick, you vow you'll never do it again, and then a weekend or so later you find yourself out sinking a few beers. And it's the same is true of running injury. We do too much, we end up injured, things settle, and we can go back into the same pattern again. So it's quite important for runners to recognize those mistakes, and also I guess for us that like a drink or two to recognize those mistakes as well if we want to avoid hangovers or running injuries in the future. Reason number 2 why running injury is like a hangover is that there's a sweet spot for both running and drinking. So with running, if you're not doing any running, you become deconditioned, you lose your fitness, you lose your confidence. But if you do far too much running, you end up quite often with an injury. So there's a sweet spot that we're looking for in the middle. And I think there's a sweet spot with drinking as well. The example I have with this is dancing when you've had a drink or two. Now, for me, if I haven't had enough to drink, if I'm too sober, I'm stiff and awkward when I'm dancing. If I've got just a sweet spot in terms of the right amount of drinks on board, I've got moves like Jagger. But too many drinks, too drunk, and you end up sick in the hedge. So somewhere there's a sweet spot in the middle that we're looking for, both with running and also with enjoying a drink or two. Reason number 3 why running injury is a bit like a hangover is that we're not sensible when we run or when we're drinking. We don't make sensible choices, which is why a Jaeger bomb seems like a really good idea at 3 in the morning, or why when you're running you think it's a great idea to do your 3rd interval session of the week despite the fact you've got an achy knee. So I think there's something about running and about maybe partying that kind of removes that sensible part of our personality, and it's something we've got to recognize because we need to address that if we're going to avoid going back into those same patterns again. Reason number 4 why a hangover is like a running injury is that you can actually build tolerance over time. That seems to be true both to alcohol, if you like a drink or two, but also to running. And that's probably one of the best ways of avoiding a running injury is building that tolerance over time. And I guess the same is true with alcohol. If you gradually build up how much you drink, you're probably a little bit less likely to get a hangover, although maybe that's not the most sensible health advice we can give people, but you can see there's a comparison there. And then last but not least, the 5th reason, final reason why a running injury is a bit like a hangover is that recovery is key. We all know if you're feeling a bit delicate from a night out, what you really need is some time in bed, some time to recover, some time to sleep it off. And the same is very much true of running injuries. Recovery is so important. We've got to make sure we get enough sleep. We plan some rest days and downtime in our schedule, and that helps us to find the sweet spot with our training as well. Okay, so just a little bit of fun today, a few ideas, few comparisons that might be useful with your runners in clinic. Share your thoughts. Are there any other comparisons that you think that fit that kind of running injury being like a hangover analogy? Let us know in the comments. I'd also like to wish everyone a really happy Christmas and wish you best wishes for the coming new year. I know obviously 2020 has been incredibly hard for a lot of people, so that's why I wanted to finish on something fun for the year. This is my last Facebook Live of 2020, and just wish you all the best of luck for 2021. I think hopefully for everyone it's going to be a much better year, a much easier year for all of us, fingers crossed. Hopefully things will get a lot better. As ever, I put a link to our running resource page. If you fancy getting your geek on and doing a bit of learning over the festive period, check out those free webinars. And I will leave you to enjoy your Christmas period and time with family and friends. Take care. Bye for now.